So your knees are bent. Your feet are about hips width distance apart. And bring your hands to your low belly. And then just kind of slide a hand underneath your low back and feel for this curve here. And what I want you to do now is push very gently into your feet. And just from the push of your feet, feel how that starts to take your low back towards the ground. And then relax. And then do it again. So you're pushing into your feet to bring your low back a little closer to the ground. And we'll do that again, and now we're going to link it with our breath. So as you push through your feet, exhale all your breath out. And at the end of your exhale, feel how your abdominal wall hugs in. And then relax. And then one more time, let's push into our feet and exhale all the breath out and feel how your abdominal wall hugs in. And now can you keep your abdominal wall hugging in as you inhale into your upper lungs? And as you exhale, reaffirm that support from your abdominal wall hugging in. And then as you inhale, breathe into your upper lungs. And maybe try and lift one foot off the ground a little bit. And then release it down. So we're going to go back and forth between our feet. And you can move at your own pace. And here we really want to pay attention to subtle strength in the body. And feel that the out breath, the exhaling breath support for the abdominal wall is still here. And that the standing leg support, whatever leg is not lifting, is still there. Just lifting your feet just a little bit off the ground. And as you do, you're really trying to hold steady in your low back, in your spine. Okay, and then after you're equal on both sides, just give it a rest. Oh, let your pelvis relax. It might feel good to let your knees sway a little bit to either side. Breathing into your belly. Okay, and then as you're ready, we're going to come back to center and prepare again the same way. Now let's link the two movements. So as you exhale, push into your feet, finish your exhale, and feel how your low back moves towards the floor. And then inhale and relax. And we'll do it again, and this time we're going to try and lift the pelvis up. But don't lift the pelvis until your legs are engaged. So we're going to exhale all the breath out, push through the legs, feel the belly muscles supporting the spine, and then reach into the ground to start to lift the pelvis up. And then releasing the pelvis as you inhale down. As we exhale, letting the exhale breath hug the abdominal wall, reach into the legs, and lift the pelvis. And here you might imagine that your loving guides are just whoop, helping you lift your butt up. And then inhaling and reaching down. So we'll do that maybe one or two more times. Work at your own pace. The priority here is to feel the subtle body more than the strength body. So in the subtle body, we're looking for a connection of breath through the abdomen, pelvis, legs, and all the way down into the feet. We're looking for a relationship here of the support of the ground into the support of the body. Now, next time your pelvis lifts up, stay. Okay, so the pelvis is lifting up, and we're going to continue to exhale and feel the exhaling breath supporting the spine. And as we inhale, we're trying to breathe into the upper lungs. Now you can bend your elbows here and push your upper arms into the floor for support. Option, you don't need to do this, but you could give it a try. Really reach down into one leg and then maybe lift the other leg up. Really reaching down into the standing leg. And when you lift the lifting leg, maybe there's even an imagination that a supportive guide is lifting your toe up for you, giving you a paintbrush to hold in your toes and saying, go paint the ceiling. Maybe one more on each side. Really working with your breath, really working with relationship down into the standing leg. And after you're even on both sides, release your pelvis down. Breathe, relax, let your knees roll a little bit side to side. And then go ahead and bring your knees into your hands. And we're just going to make some circles with the knees, letting the knees spiral out and in. And the other way. And then from here, let's lift one arm up, and you can roll to the side and transition as you're ready onto your hands and your knees. If your wrists don't like weight bearing, please feel free to come down onto your forearms. I like being on my forearms just because I find it a little more comfortable. And on the forearms, it's nice also to let your hips shift a little bit side to side. You can relax your head down. All right, then finding a point of balance. And we're going to exhale here and feel the exhaling breath as support to reach down through our limbs and into the ground. You can stay right here. This is work. You can also experiment with sliding one leg back and maybe lifting a leg up and then returning to center. Going back and forth between the two sides at your own pace, just doing a few on each side. Now, as you work through these shapes, let's really prioritize support. Okay? And we're going to find support by connecting with the ground, connecting with the earth, pushing down through the limbs that are on the ground, really meeting the ground. And the lifting leg, you might imagine that your angel guides are tickling your toes and pulling your toes up and back. But your emphasis here is on your support of the ground. And then after you've done both sides evenly, we'll rest. And if it's possible, to stand up on your knees, we'll stand up on the knees. So I know that not everybody's knees will tolerate being stood on. And so if you're not a knee standing type of person today, then make your transition in whatever way is supported to you to come to stand. And when we do the next thing that I'm about to guide, then what you'll do instead as a modification is just lift one leg forward at a time. And folks are welcome to use a wall for balance as well, if that would be supportive, or a chair, or couch, or something like that. So if it is tolerable for your knees, and I actually need a blanket for my knees because they don't want to just be on the ground. So if it's tolerable for your knees to stand on them, then here I really want us to push down into the knees. And if you're standing on your feet, then really push down into your feet. And let's really prioritize this connected, earthy, rooted strength. From here, and if you're standing, you're going to experiment with taking a leg forward and lifting that leg forward. But from here, from your knee stance, just give it a try, taking one foot forward and then coming back onto your knee. And as you take a foot forward, you're really anchoring through the standing leg. So I'm feeling my shin and knee connecting to the ground, connecting all the way up into my torso. And as I shift weight to take the other foot forward, I'm prioritizing my stability. Going back and forth a couple of times. And as we prioritize stability, I might also imagine that someone is pulling my toe forward. Pulling my toe. Whew. Now, if you're standing on your feet, experimenting here a little bit with your balance on your feet. And we're going to start to play with balance. And so if you're standing, then play in whatever way is appropriate. You can try moving your leg around a little bit, doing knee or hip circles, etc. And for those of us working from the floor, we're going to play a little bit with balance by really grounding into the standing side, taking one leg forward, and then, woo, working a balance. Okay, so here we have the need for a lot of relational connective strength. Pushing into the standing leg, letting the limbs explore space. Ooh, maybe moving that lifting leg around. Little tightrope walkie. And then we'll switch sides as we're ready. Playful strength, connective strength, strength that balances. And if you fall out of your shape, laugh about it. Try it again. Okay, there's no need to be super serious about any of this. And then for those of us who are on our knees, we've got to find our way to stand. And to transition from knee to stand, we really want to meet the ground. Try both sides. Really meeting the ground. Theories, the Earth Mother says, come to the earth to find your strength. Whoosh. Okay. And once everybody has found a standing shape again, let's just wiggle it out a little bit. Whew. And then stand. And let your weight balance over your feet. And as you push down into the ground, feel the strength of your legs flowing upwards from your feet into your pelvis. Feel all the joints in your toes and your ankles and your knees and your hips supported in their own balance. Knowing that your balance and your strength can be fluid. You can move around. You can let your weight shift as needed. Feeling the space of your low belly where earth is. Feeling the length of your spine, support of your spine from pelvis to head. Feeling the presence of your breath and the voice that travels from your breath and through your throat. Noticing your voice, again, making sounds, speaking words. How do you feel in your stance and in your sound right now?